Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited to be doing a first impressions and two looks with the pure RawBeautyKristi collection. She has come out with a palette and two pairs of lashes, which we're going to be going over, and I'm beyond excited. She just announced this last week and it already went live on Sunday. It was a whole fiasco with that. Some people tried all day to get on. I checked the site a couple times. I knew I was getting this package, otherwise I would have been waiting there with you all day. But yeah, it seems like the launch, it didn't go as expected, but I feel really bad for Kristi in this situation because she's probably a nervous wreck all day with people wondering if their orders went through and having to wait so long. But I don't know, I kind of think Pure should have had their website ready to go. Kristi has 1 million followers now, so they knew that they were going to get a lot of traffic there. So I'm really hoping if you guys wanted this collection, you were able to get it. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, I believe they are restocking. So I actually was sent this collection, which is literally so shocking. I'm still so surprised about it, but it is actually going to my old address because I don't really get PR from Pure, but they must have had my old address. I've gotten a package from them a long time ago to that, so I had to get everything switched over, and luckily I did get it here, and I'm so excited, so thankful to them for sending this over so that I could try it out. So let me go ahead and just get into everything. This is what the box looks like, and Kristi drew these illustrations herself for the boxes and the palette, which is so cool, and everything represents a little something in her life. I actually watched her video on it, and I just love to see why people name things certain things, and it just kind of, I don't know, it makes me more excited to get the palette and try it out. It just has a lot more meaning to it. So this is the box that they sent the PR package in, and it comes with, there's a palette and then two pairs of lashes. I'll quickly go over the lashes. I have this pair on right now called Lovely. So if you guys haven't tried the Pure lashes, I actually really enjoy them. They are $14 each, which seems a little bit pricey, but for a faux silk, I believe they are. Yeah, faux silk lash, it's really not too bad. Some of them go for $30, and these are reusable, so you can get multiple wears out of them. But yeah, I love Pure lashes. I always have. So $14 is not too bad, and these are pretty dramatic ones. And they also have the Can't Be Bothered lash as well, which is supposed to be the most dramatic, while Lovely is supposed to be the more natural version, since there's kind of two sides. You'll see with the palette as well. Okay, and then we have the palette, which mine's a little bit dirty since I have been using it. This is a two-sided palette, which I think is so smart to do because she did a more colorful side and she did a more neutral side. And it's not super bulky or anything like that. It feels just like a regular palette, so I love that. And you get a ton of shades in here, and the palette is only $34, which I think is a really good price. I don't know how much Pure stuff usually is. I think it is usually around that range, so I think that this price is amazing for how much you get. Let me do a little close-up on the shades for you. Sorry, again, mine's a little bit messy, but you guys can get the gist of it. It's mostly mattes. There's actually only 2 shimmers in this whole palette, which is kind of surprising. So you got all your matte colors and then a shimmer in the middle, and then you have all the neutral mattes around and a shimmer in the middle again. This is a pressed pigment palette, so it did leave some staining on my arms, but when I tried it on my eyes, there wasn't any staining, so I did want to mention that. But it does have these intense pigments, especially those colors. They have really high color payoff, which you'll see in the swatches. I'll just go ahead and insert those now. Swatching them, the shadows weren't super soft mattes, but they had a lot of payoff. So I was pretty impressed with these swatches. And then the 2 shimmers, those were very soft and very shiny when I swatched them. Super beautiful. So now I want to go ahead and get into the 2 looks that I did. I did one with the colorful side and one with the neutral side, which is what I have on now. So let me show you guys those looks. Alright, so I do want to try and do a colorful look for the first one today. So excited to dig into these shadows. Typically, you guys know me, I always go for pinks, purples, or oranges. So I really want to try using this Garden State shade and the Hurtful shade, more of these blue greens, for something a little bit different than I would normally do. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into Garden State, which is kind of like an emerald green. Let's kick off that fallout, and we'll just go ahead and put that above and into the crease. I'm going to start small since I'm not used to working with these kind of colors. And then we'll build it up to the color that we want. So these shadows are very much buildable. And I like that because then you can kind of take your time and really make a seamless color. You can just make it a lot more blended this way. So I went in about 3 times with that green to get this pigmentation. I'm going to copy that on the other side. So I'm pretty happy with how that looks for the Garden State color. Next I'm going to go into Hurtful, and I'm going to kind of focus this in the outer corner. I'm just going to use the same brush and just tap that on the ends and blend it into the center. As you can see, it does start off a little bit on the lighter side. Okay, so I will be cleaning anything up with concealer, but so far I'm pretty impressed with the color. Like I said, it does start out a bit light, but this is really easy to build up and get a full color pigmentation. And working with these greens and blues that can usually be a bit messy with other palettes, I feel like it looks really nice. And there's actually not a whole lot I have to clean up with, so I thought it was pretty easy. So I want to do something fun on the lid. I was thinking of using this Cafe Disco. I don't know if it'll be too pink for this look. Maybe I'll try this white Lumos shade and put the Cafe Disco on top. That could be fun. Let me go ahead and maybe cut the crease so we can get more pigmentation. So I'm just doing a half cut crease. I just dipped some concealer on my hand so I don't get too much product. So I'm just going to place this in the inner portion of my lid, a little bit into the center. And this will give us a blank canvas so that the colors really pop. So I'm going to put that Lumos shade over that concealer. This one's a bit more on the powdery side. I am going to wet that brush now, and we'll try the Lumos color. I know this one has more of a pink tone, so hopefully it'll go okay with the look, but you guys know me, I love a good shimmery lid. So we're going to pop this on over top of that. That actually looks really pretty. I was expecting it to be more pink, but paired over the white, it's more giving it like a pearlescent kind of shade. It's really pretty. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I am going to try it with my finger too. It is a really soft color. But yeah, I'm very impressed with how that looked. I was a little bit unsure, but that is a beautiful color. I think that'll look good with pretty much any matte bright color in this palette. Okay, so next I'm going to take this Urban Decay Yayo eyeliner. It's kind of like a pearlescent white. It's going to match that lid color, I think. And I'm just going to pop this on the lower lash. I like more of a bright lower lash line when I'm working with colors like these because I am going to put a little bit underneath. And it just kind of makes you look more awake. Also, sorry if this palette is getting in the way. I always do my looks with like my makeup mirror like this, so I could see. I'm not good at like hiding it. Sometimes I just need to concentrate. I think for the lower lash line I'll use Hurtful. And just bring that all the way underneath. Here's how the eyes look with just the shadow. I am going to add my concealer plus the rest of my face makeup. And then we'll try out the dramatic lashes for this look. But yeah, I think this is coming out really nice. And the end result will definitely be a little bit more precise and put together. Okay, so I'm going to use the Can't Be Bothered lashes with this look since these are the more dramatic. And these are pretty dramatic. They're very long, so I'm going to have to trim mine. So I always trim on the end. I'm just going to take a little section off and see if that'll fit. I have pretty small eyes too. So we'll see how these look. Let's see. I don't want to risk getting them too short, so I think I'm just going to leave it at that. The lashes are on. these are the dramatic ones. They are pretty long for me. I didn't want to cut them any shorter, so they are coming in a little bit more in the corner. But they're not bad. They're not like too dramatic, but I feel like they look really pretty with this more colorful look. They did take me a little bit of time to get on though. I'm still not always the best at applying them, but I think these look really nice. And I do like the pure lashes. I like that the band isn't like super heavy, so I still feel like I don't need to wear eyeliner with these. I don't usually like to with my lashes anyway because I'm not really an eyeliner girl. Everything will be linked down below if you have any questions about anything, but so far so good. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing more of the neutral look and do like the intro and outro and all that stuff. So for look number 2, we're going to do a more neutral glam look with this side of the palette since we did color yesterday. And I did already prime my eyes, so it is ready to go. So the first thing that I am going to do, I'm going to take the shade Copper Boxes and place that into the crease. I'm also going to take a bit of this yellow shade called Camelot. I think Kristi used the yellow in her look that she had on in her announcement video, and it was so pretty. So that will just kind of make it a little bit more mustard toned. Very warm. Next, I'm going to go into the shade You're Not My Real Dad and use that in the outer corner. I'm kind of just going back and forth like this just to bring it out, and I will clean it up with concealer because I feel like I round off my eyes a bit too much, so I'm trying to have a little bit of a point. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade B here and just kind of smudge that underneath. And I'll smudge a little bit of Camelot under that. And then I'm going to wet this little flat brush here, and we'll use the shimmer, which is Golden Ticket. Such a pretty shade. It's very metallic. Okay, so that is the eyes. I am going to go ahead and do the lashes too. I'll just do them right here. So we have the more natural looking lashes called Lovey, which are so pretty. I might have to trim these too. They're just a bit like long on the ends. So I just trimmed off a little piece of the end because yeah, these are pretty long, but I usually have to do that with most of my lashes. These are the Lovely lashes. I don't know why I said Lovey earlier. Don't know. It's early. I haven't had coffee yet, but these are really pretty. These are actually pretty dramatic for me as well, but I do like the shape of these a bit more just because they're more kind of fluffy and curled. So I really like that look. But yeah, I still had to trim them. They do come a little bit close to my inner corners, but I don't like to trim too much because then I feel like it kind of loses the shape, and sometimes you can ruin it if you go too short. But overall, I really like how these look. So I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on, and then we'll go ahead and get into the outro of this video. So after trying the palette, I feel like I have a pretty good opinion on my thoughts on this palette. I have to say, I am pretty pleased with it. I really enjoyed how the colors performed on the eyes, especially like the more colorful side. Those blues and greens were very easy to work with, and I tried out some new things that I don't normally wear these kind of shades, and I feel like the looks both came out amazing. The shadows, I will say, they start off a little bit light in color, but they are so easy to build up without just like going overboard. So I really liked that about the palette. So don't expect like full-on pigment right away. It's better to start small and build up. I think I had to build the colors at like 3 times to get the perfect shade that I wanted, but it was just amazing how seamless the blend was. And I got so many comments from you guys about like my eyeshadow, how the blend was when I was wearing it. And I'm not always the best at blending, but I feel like these were really easy to work with since they are such a soft formula. They do have a little bit of kick up, but they just blend out like a dream. So very easy to work with. Even on like the look today, I did have maybe a bit of trouble, but I also tried a new technique, kind of pushing out my shade a little bit more so it's not so rounded with that dark brown, the You're Not My Real Dad. I had to build that up a few times and I was a little bit worried if it would look patchy, but I think like once I kind of blended everything together, it was good. So that was only the shade that I kind of had a little bit of trouble with, but it really wasn't bad. I will say I think a lot of people might kind of be iffy on it since it only has 2 shimmers in the palette, which I didn't even notice that first, and I was like, wow, there really is only 2 shimmers. So you would think that maybe it would be a little bit limiting on looks, but I found that especially with the shade Cafe Disco, like if you did a matte on the lid and put this on top, it changes the color. So like I put it over the white and it made it more of a pearlescent shade. If you put it over the pink, it's gonna make a fun like shimmery pink. So I feel like this side there's a lot you can do, and I do like that she did more mattes, because with color I like more mattes instead of shimmers, because if you're trying to put shimmers in the crease and outer corners, sometimes it just doesn't blend right. I do think it could use maybe one more shimmer on the more neutral side, since this is the only one that it has there, but you can probably do some other looks mixing and matching the palettes as well. Like if you wanted to go into these pinky tones with Cafe Disco on the lid, I think that would be really pretty, but I don't know, maybe it could use a couple more shimmers, but overall I do prefer more mattes and maybe fewer shimmers in my palettes. And Kristi said she likes some more mattes too, so that's what she did. It's her palette, so that's what she went with. But if you guys do like more like shimmers in your palette, maybe this wouldn't be for you. I also wanted to mention, if you guys have tried Pure's shadows before, I've tried a couple palettes that I got in like BoxyCharm. I had the Barbie palette and a couple in the past, like their Love Your Selfie palettes. I feel like the quality of this one and like the formula is a bit different. I think Kristi really kind of picked these colors and made sure they performed well before she put this palette out. So don't be discouraged if you don't like Pure's shadow formula, because I feel like this one has a better formula. Because I do, like, I'll be honest, I've decluttered quite a few Pure palettes, but I could see this one staying in my collection for a while, just because I think there's a lot of fun things I can do with it. So I did want to mention that about the formula. I do think that it is more of a unique formula to Pure. So that's kind of my thoughts on the collection. You guys will have to let me know what you're thinking down below. Once again, I'm so sorry that you guys, if you had to deal with the launch and waiting all day for the palette. I hope you guys were able to get it, and it should be restocking soon like I mentioned, but I'm really happy with it. I would definitely recommend getting it, especially if you're a fan of RawBeautyKristi. I think she is such a good person to watch here on YouTube, and she's pretty drama free and she makes me laugh, and she's just so real, so I love that about her. I'm really pleased with the collection. The palette, I think it's priced amazingly. You get so much in there, and even the lashes are beautiful as well. I love the Pure lashes, so I would definitely recommend those. Especially these lovely ones are my favorite, just because they kind of are more wispy and they kind of curl out a bit more. I think these are really pretty. So that is going to be it for this video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys.